Like they will have everything. They'll have a podcast set up. They'll be good to go and shit like that.
Yeah, man.
All right, we're recording. Sorry, bro, I have to monitor this shit, so I'll just be.
No, you're right.
I'll be doing chicken, so we'll just go from there. So, 3, 2, 1. G'day, ladies and gentlemen. Today we got Lomu here from for the GOAT podcast. I don't know what episode we're at. We might be at 7 or 8 or something like that. But yeah, we'll get it cracking away. So Lomu is a amateur boxer who went into the Commonwealth Games. Just a brief on his background story. Just he's been to the Commonwealth Games, Olympics. Well, he'll tell his story and we'll go from there, and then we'll just bounce off each other from here on in. But Lomu, appreciate it. Thanks for coming in, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, so my background, I've been to 2 Commonwealth Games, 1 World Champs, a couple of Oceanias, nationals here, countless nationals. My first Commonwealth Games, I won a bronze medal. I was fortunate enough to be on the podium with one of the current world champions, and Josh Taylor from Scotland. So he's got 2 of the bouts, and I only just lost to this guy. So he won a tournament last year that unified the bouts.
Yep.
He ended up walking away with $22 million, and he signed with Top Rank about 3 months ago. So he's already a world champion at 15 fights. And this kid, he was good, but in that time when we were fighting, I was one of the best as well. So
yeah, I heard a lot of stories about you. So obviously, I just want to give a quick shout out to Troy for teeing this up. Troy's my brother.
Teabags,
aka Teabags. Cheers, bro. Thanks for hooking this up. So before we get to the Commonwealth Games and before we get to basically where you come from now, where did it all start from? Where did boxing come? Did you have a background in boxing, or was it something to do with the family, or?
Yeah, so like right now, I am like 3rd generation fighter. So my dad boxed, and then his family before him. I don't think it was, I think maybe it was by fate, but like my brother wanted to start boxing. So this was when I was about 11 years old. And in that team, I was playing rep rugby union. We had Julian Sarver, who plays for the All Blacks, and he was in that rep team that I also went back in Wellington.
So you lived in New Zealand?
Yeah, so I'm from, so that's why me and Troy get along. So I'm from.
Because I'm thinking that I was like, wait, New Zealand, bro. I'm in Australia.
Yeah, so I was born in New Zealand. We moved over here when I was just turning 16. That's how I started off. My brother wanted to box first. His younger brother.
Yeah.
My dad just said, just come, just train for rugby union, because I was playing rep rugby union for Wellington under 11s.
Yeah.
And then I started off like that. And then the first week I trained, it was so hard. And then for some reason, that coach, it was back in Lower Hutt as well. And he come up to my dad and he goes, does your boy want to fight? And then he come up to me, he goes, do you want to fight?
This is a rugby coach, is it?
Nah, this is the boxing coach when I was first, And then I just said, yeah. And I was just an 11-year-old kid, 36 kilos. And I was like, yeah, all right. And then literally the next week I fought. So I only boxed 2 weeks. But I look back,
trained 2 weeks.
Yeah, I only trained 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then literally, when I look back now, it's like, he must have seen something in me, eh? So,
yeah, for sure.
And then it just took from there. My brother, didn't want to do the training anymore. So,
How old is your brother?
He's 2 years younger than me, so he would have been 9.
Yeah.
But I ended up liking the training, and I think my mental, I didn't want to let that down or anything. Even when I didn't want to train, I just went anyway. So, and then I developed liking boxing and the training and the discipline and not having to rely on everyone. And I'm pretty much like an introvert. I don't depend on too many people, because I get the shits. I'm like a Jordan, you have to step up or I'm just get really mad.
Yeah. So going from that mentality, so you were what 13? Was it 13? You started to train heavily.
Yeah.
So and then 2 weeks, obviously, you had your first fight. How did that go?
No, lost. But
what was that? Is that under? So under that, is that under amateurs?
Amateur. Yeah, everything's amateur. Yeah, you don't turn pro until anyone can turn pro, but you have to be 18.
You have to be 18.
Yeah, 18.
So in New Zealand, when the training is, who was training you at that time? That coach you were just referring to earlier?
I had heaps of coaches. So I had Russell at Bellevue, and then my dad pretty much...
Shout out Russell.
Yeah. So he pretty much brought me up. Well, my dad pretty much was my whole coaching figure my whole life.
Oh, so your father was...
Yeah, so Dad had the knowledge. I think he ended up being a better coach because he had to evolve with me because he knew what he could, but he had to evolve at the same time. So would go to fights and he'll study or...
So he was learning at the same time as you were fighting.
Yeah,
so
both were just because he boxed before as well because he boxed over in America in Dallas.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How was he?
He was all right. I'm not putting my dad down, but he's all right. But not to the level that I was at.
Oh, okay.
Nowhere near.
So what? 13. When did you start taking it? And when did you start to notice yourself? You're like, oh, I'm going to take this quite serious.
I reckon like when we left New Zealand about 14, 15
Oh,
years
so
old.
like not that long ago after.
Yeah, so it wasn't that long. And I think there was a lot of whispers with coaches, me being the next big thing. So
Yeah.
I lived up to the expectation. And I think I was just one of those kids. I had to be the best at what I was. Like, it doesn't matter if I played card games or what it was. I had to be the best.
So you're a bit like that OCD type guy, that like Michael Jordan, like you were mentioning earlier. So you always wanted to win. Well, that's what's all part of it, isn't it? Like you always want to win. So with that, so you moved to Australia. What happened there? So did you continue, or did it struggle for a bit?
So we came over, and then I just turned 16. I went to we came straight to Cabra. Then we had the PCYC. When we were growing up, we were living at my dad's uncle's house, and that's Solomon Hermono's uncle.
You know, we're related to Sol.
Yeah. So Solo, yeah. So we stayed with his uncle.
Shout out Hermono.
Yeah. We stayed at his like for a good year. Dad was still working, so we're just saving to try to get our own place.
Yeah.
And then we ended up getting our own place, and then even the first couple years, like I didn't even have a bed. Like,
oh, it's all
literally,
us.
yeah, literally, like you know how the Rock has his $7 in the pocket.
Yeah.
Story. I slept on the concrete ground for 2 years.
But you would have slept there with a whole family. And,
and then because I was doing so well and I was traveling interstate, fighting against state teams, and then going overseas, there was some weeks, my dad will live off noodles because they'll pay the wage, pay my mom,
no way.
to send me overseas, but they knew like it was towards something, you know what I'm saying? So growing up as like a 16-year-old, that's a lot of pressure, especially you leave New Zealand to get a better future, and I don't think there's too many kids in the path like I did. That's why like now if I look at kids, I don't know if it's a millennial thing. They're just all sport, man. They want to cry their way to the top. I'm like, I didn't cry my way to the top.
I know what you're saying, bro. I can sort of get what you mean. But so going from that, so your father obviously and your mother sort of sacrificed like, funds and put like their money aside for you to travel. So at that time there was no sponsorship. There was no hand sort of like sponsors or anything to sort of help you out in that moment. How hard was that for you guys? And did you see that sacrifice? And did you?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like, mum.
What was the cost in that sacrifice?
And it costs money, especially.
No, I mean, in a sense of like them going without, was that a big burden to you in a sense?
Yeah,
of like,
it was. Yeah. Heaps big burden. Like when I look back now, like I treasure and I'm thankful for my parents for doing that. They would used to get into fights and even my dad would tell me, he'd be like, sometimes some nights I would like cry because I don't know if I had made the right choice because, you're a kid, you might just change your mind and go, I don't want to box him anymore. You know? But for me, and one thing that my brother, at my wedding, my brother brought up a good point and I actually cried like a little bit. I had a tear. He said, in our family, Lomu did everything. Like, losing wasn't an option because he knew like when we moved and my parents had sacrificed everything in New Zealand to come to this country. Yeah. Like they don't know whether I was gonna make it or not. But they had the faith, and I think I'm the type of guy, like it doesn't matter what the situation is. If it's a very hard situation, I come twice as hard. Yeah. I'm like that guy that the animal that's wounded, but I come hard. I'm not the type of guy, if things get hard, I back off.
Was that a mentality sort of like, I want to say, how can I say it? Would you say it's something that was born into you, or would you say it was something developed, if that makes sense?
I reckon it developed over time because...
Just through the hardships you were going through and the circumstances coming from overseas, knowing that you didn't have much.
And like my dad
sleeping
will always...
on the floor,
100%. My dad will always like drill it into me. It's like, you don't want to be in the cycle, that you're working a 9-to-5 job and you're making some other person rich and, doing something you don't like. Like,
So through that, so you were probably 14, 15 at that time. Yeah. Going traveling overseas and stuff like that. Was those experiences good for you? Like, even though obviously the sacrifice will come with it, did you learn a lot from that? If that makes sense.
100%. Like traveling overseas and like doing
at a young age. So how old were you at your first trip? If that?
Oh, I was like 15 years old.
15, and was you going to school at that time at the same time?
Yeah, so like I'll go to school. Like apart from the boys back in NZ, like they knew how well I was going. But like when I come to Australia, I think everyone was kind of like, I did boxing as a hobby, but they didn't. I'm not the type to go and brag and be like I'm actually,
Yeah, but that's all. Yeah.
When they started to realize I was going on trips and stuff, then they were going, "Hang on a minute,
it's got serious."
Yeah, he's actually. It's
doing
serious.
Stuff. Yeah.
Like I'm good. Like I didn't want to tell anyone.
Yeah, and so that's right. 15, you're sort
16,
of
yeah.
15, 16.
So I was, just
What was the biggest challenges at that time in through high school? Sort of training in the way you are, traveling the way you are, and sort of sticking with the schoolwork, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so lucky. It's good that you brought up. So the biggest challenge was my schoolwork. When I look back, I didn't finish school, so I dropped out.
Something wrong with that.
Yeah, hard. When I look back, there's nothing wrong. So I dropped out of HSC just 2 weeks before.
Oh, so you went to year 10 and.
Oh yeah, no, year 12.
Year 12. Okay.
So, but
which school was that?
Cabra High.
Cabra High. Shout out Cabra High.
Yeah,
that's
hard.
where John Howard went to, didn't he?
Nah, there's one of the
Canterbury Boys. I think he went to Canterbury. Yeah, sorry, I went to think about that one.
Yeah, no, so I dropped out of high school just 2 weeks out before HSC. And that was the year I was going into my Beijing Olympic qualifiers. So it was a stressful time for me, yeah. So I was a kid fighting grown men.
Yeah.
You know, and
how was that?
When I look back, I should have not repeated, you know how you can do another
pathways or something like that.
Yeah, like a defer. Like I should have done that when I look back. And I remember all the kids, like, and all those nerds and all the ones that thought they were so good with their 90% and their UIs. You know, they're like, oh, what's Lomi going to do? Because I remember even some teachers, they'd be like, oh, if you don't have HSC, that's the end of it all. You know, and I'm like, nah. And then when I look back now, and it's like, well, I'll make quadruple the money they make, and they got these degrees, and they're not even doing anything with them.
I know what you're saying.
I think at the time, like, and I think that's still with my work ethic now, is like, I work harder than everyone else.
Yeah.
You know, I'm probably lucky to get four hours of sleep a night because.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, because I'm always proactive, and like when I see those guys that thought they were good at school, and they're like working shit jobs, and I laugh because I get paid well to do what I love. You know what I'm saying? And I bought for a guy that dropped out of school that's got 2 properties, he's got a Porsche sitting outside. You know, I'm married. I got a loving Pomeranian dog, and I'm about to. I'm not gonna spoil my next thing that I'm gonna do next, but I'm on to big things. Yeah.
Well, that's you obviously definitely sound passionate of what you're doing, and you're a product of your own thing. Yeah. So with 16, you so that's what 2007 you finished that.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, same age.
Yeah.
So yeah, around about 2007. So between 2007 and obviously the 2010 was the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
So that's when the training was actually to another level. Was that like going? All right, that was the goal from 2007. We've got to hit the Commonwealth Games.
What happened was the 2008 Olympics, I ended up losing to the guy that made his second Olympics.
Oh, sorry. So you made... Yeah. Sorry, I skipped then. So you went to the Olympics.
No, I didn't make the Olympics. Okay. That was a trial. So I lost to Anthony Little, so he's made 2 Olympics. And I was only a kid. He was about 28 years old. I was just turned 18. So I'm fighting grown men. You know?
So how many fights did you have throughout high school in those...
I had... In my amateur career, like 89 and probably like 7 losses. Yeah, over the time.
Over time. Yeah. So, but how many did you have in high school?
Oh, heaps. I was like...
How confident would you be?
I knew I was the best. I knew, like, as much as, like, I knew. I was... You know, I didn't win that Commonwealth Games medal for nothing.
Yeah, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
But, like, yeah, it's just like, I was doing things so early on. Yeah. Like... fighting grown men since I was 15 because I used to demolish all the kids. Like,
damn.
If the kids I see now that are boxing now and they met old me at that age, I would eat them alive.
So okay. So you've hidden you had made the trials. Was it the trials or the tryouts?
Yeah. So I didn't make that. But that even just losing to that Anthony Little gave me a lot of confidence.
Yeah, for sure.
But the thing was, after that, no one wanted to fight me in that 2-year period.
Oh.
So I didn't fight for 2 years between 2008 and 2010. And this is where the story gets better.
Let's go.
It's because everyone was scared of me. That's why. Anyways, 2 years is a lot away from boxing, right?
100%.
I end up getting to the Commonwealth Games and I end up rocking up with a medal. 2 years absence from boxing. That's how good I was.
So why was that? Why was that the case of you not getting a fight throughout that?
Because there was no one in the country to fight.
But couldn't you go overseas?
I would go overseas, but the thing is, it costs money.
Was there any sponsorships around that time?
No
so not even after.
I made it like legit. I made it from nothing.
Shit.
And you know what's funny? In all these like countries that had money, especially like Australia, they were traveling to Russia, Cuba, America, wherever the fuck they were training at. They didn't have the skill that matched when it came to the Commonwealth Games. And I knew the whole time I was training, my skills was
point scoring. Was it a point scoring type fighting?
Yeah, it was like it changed the pro and it suited me.
Yeah,
because I like to hurt people.
So you wanted the knockout.
Yeah,
you wanted
I like to hurt people.
You're the Mike Tyson power punch.
Yeah.
Well, you seem like more of a power puncher in your division.
Yeah.
Like, so those guys are more speed, more accuracy, but you were more like just rip your head off type.
Yeah,
Not saying that
I was
with
like,
that
I'll rip your head off, but like I knew how
technical.
to box. Like I was technical.
Yes,
I was smart about it.
Yeah, you weren't the broad.
Not outraged. Like I was.
Don't want to be a stereotype term, but you're not the Islanders.
I'm not going
was
and gassing
technical.
it. Yeah,
you ain't gassing. You ain't
I'm
gassing
using
out.
my brains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how was that anyway? So not getting 2 fights in 2 years, or not getting a fight within 2 years, and then you can make the. So how did you qualify for the Commonwealth Games? Didn't you? It wasn't there like a.
Yeah, there was like
criteria or something.
Yeah, there was a trial, but then they had another one. But because Lomalito Moala, he's like the godfather of like martial arts in New Zealand, so he's trained Mark Hunt.
Okay. Is that the old guy who holds pads for him? We see on sometimes.
Yeah. So he's like the guy. Everyone in New Zealand. So he was our coach, and because we're family anyway, he's just like, do you want to fight? Because I couldn't go with New Zealand because at the time with New Zealand, there was a fighter in my weight class. His coach was at national. So I would have rather represented New Zealand,
personally.
But because of the politics, I chose to go with Tonga because New Zealand.
So you couldn't even fight for
Yeah, I couldn't fight for Australia because I wasn't a citizen.
So you didn't even fight. You couldn't get residence.
Yeah, no, like I just didn't have my citizen because you have to be a citizenship
to represent Australia. Yeah. Were you ever? Was there a process in like? Was there
Yeah,
like
there was
something?
but like
in your head, were you thinking, "Oh, we'll fight for Australia one day"? Just get this. So that wasn't an option.
I think like if one day, God willing, when I have kids, if they're playing sport, whatever they do, they'll have to represent because this is where they're going to be born.
So how did Tonga come about? So when did that happen? So you qualified. So okay, 2010 comes along. So when did Tonga come along, or did you go knocking on the door?
Nah, so like they approached me anyway because at the time they approached me and Junior. So Junior Far, he's ranked number 6 in WBO. So
now at current.
Yeah, so he's one of my good teammates. So there's
Tongan?
there's big speculation in the fight between him and Joe Parker. I don't know what's going on.
That was they talked like the heavyweight, but he backed off fighting. Was that the guy you hit back? When Joseph Park kept going, and he sort of back.
So
but he beat him in amateurs, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's him. So me and him were at that time we're probably the best team in Tonga like Tonga's ever had because we both won bronze medals. Yeah, but we've grown up together. So
how big is he? He's like 6'4", 6'5".
6'5".
Big boy, yeah, man.
So he's Deontay Wilder's sparring partner.
Damn, man, he's big boy.
There's heaps of boys that I know, but anyways. But like, so like I only went with Tonga just to be safe because I needed to show the world what I was made of.
Yep. Yeah. And how did that come with, was that when the sponsorships come or was it still a struggle streak?
Yeah, you still don't get sponsorships. Amateur boxing, no sponsorship.
Not even Nike, no one. Not even for an upcoming guy.
Not even Australia boxing, they did have funding, but when you talk terms of sponsorship and money, every amateur country's like apart, like you got your big countries like England, Great Britain. They get a funding of like £25 million like every 4 years, so they get paid wages. That's why they never turn pro until later on.
Oh, okay.
So they get looked after, but like countries like New Zealand, Australia, there's no funding. It's like when you make the team, you do get the funding when you get your flights and that paid off, but when it comes to like wages and stuff, we don't get nothing.
So the Commonwealth Games, so you obviously medaled. We talked about it earlier. You medaled, but how many fights did you get before you got the bronze? If that makes sense.
So in my weight class at that time, we had the most in our weight class. So
and what weight class were you at fighting? Lightweight. Okay.
So 60 kilos. So there was 34, 35 of us. It was the most in any weight class. So I knew when I looked at a draw, I had to fight at least 4 or 5 times to get a medal. So I ended up fighting 4, and I was 1 fight short from the gold medal fight. And then I ended up beating one of the favorites, Alex Rin from Canada.
Knock him out?
Points. Good fighter, but cocky.
Yeah.
So I ended up beating him. And then, I ended up losing to Josh Taylor in the semi-finals. Now he's one of the unified champions.
So I heard a story that you first Lomachenko. When was that? Or was that later on down the story?
Yeah, so that was after. So that was...
Okay, well, we'll get to that eventually. We'll get to that eventually. So we keep going with the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
So with that, was there any... so where was that? Commonwealth Games 2000? Was it Gold Coast? No, that was
it was in New Delhi.
India.
Yeah.
How was that experience? Was India a good country?
Yeah, good country. The people are nice. The food's good.
Is it like Indian food that's equivalent to like butter chicken here, or is it
their food's
traditional?
So much better, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, heaps better.
How was that like in going and seeing India? How was that experience?
The whole 2.5 weeks I was just eating Indian. I wasn't eating Western food because you can get there anywhere.
Yeah. But did you have to stick to a strict diet while you were there?
When I was there, I didn't have to because I had trained my ass off. So my weight was always... I was 2 kilos underweight.
And you were
Usually the fighters coming in, they're either 0.1 underweight or they're 500 grams underweight. I was coming in 2 kilos. I literally dropped from 75 kilos down to 58.
Fuck, man, how drained were
Yeah,
you?
I was drained, but like the last month out, like I got used to my weight and I was super strong.
So you were training at...
So I made my
58.
weight, yeah. So I made my weight under 60. So I made my weight a month out before the games, and I just got strong and I got used to my weight.
Yeah, because you didn't worry
I
about...
didn't drop before, like right beforehand, because
Yeah.
otherwise I'll feel the tiredness because I'm weak.
So how long was it before? So how long was it before you went to Olympics? Commonwealth Games before you start dropping down to like 58?
So it was about
2 weeks out, 5 weeks out.
I was training 4 months out.
Oh, okay.
Because
Then
I had to bring. You can't drop your weight that low because your performance is not as good because you've
Energy.
lost too much. Yeah, and it's the energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also
Doesn't matter how good of a boxer you are.
you lose energy.
Yeah, that's the energy.
You gas
that-
out
yeah.
early and stuff. So
You
you
don't
can't.
perform the best.
It's like someone like, I don't know, my size going down to like lightweight. It wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
and then you wouldn't be at your strongest.
And if you were to fight, you're just too weak.
Yeah. So did you, obviously it's an amateur level, but did you still have nutritionists or do you have like strength and conditioning coaches at that time or just to be in the Commonwealth? Because to me personally, I think that if you're in the Commonwealth Games, I think it's a professional level. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I just thought, these
Yeah.
guys all, so I thought that they have stuff in place.
So I did have a guy that sorted out my plan, and that's our mate Johnny. So Johnny
Fucking
sorted
Johnny.
me out with the.
He's a bad
diet plan,
motherfucker,
yeah.
Johnny. Eh?
So I said, look, I need.
Shout out to Johnny.
Yeah,
I know
Johnny,
he can
man, he's badass. So like he gave me the diet plan to drop the weight and to keep me strong.
It's 2010.
Yeah, and that's what helped me get down to 58. And then when I got to the games, like a month out, I could eat whatever I want because I was 2 kilos underweight. So I was still strong.
Yeah, and that was the closest you had to like a nutritionist
Yeah.
or a strength and conditioning coach.
Because really, when you're a fighter, it doesn't matter what you do, you have to lose weight anyway.
But it just sounds like, to me, it just sounds like hearing that. I just think that, man, I thought there's a bit more into it. Like, I thought, make the Commonwealth Games, there's like, sure, there's a strength and conditioning coach, there's a head coach.
Nah,
there's
it depends.
a couple of years
like
in
the countries, the like the English and you got your like the Australians, like they got money, they have all of that.
So if you fought for Australia,
I would have got all of that.
yeah, so it's depending on the country and the funding.
But in a way, like if I had to look back, I wouldn't change anything for the world because all the struggles led up to that moment that to
100%.
carve my name into that history books. You know?
Well, think about it. With limited resources and limited opportunity, and then to get a bronze medal,
yeah, out of
that's,
nothing. Yeah,
that's telling its own story itself.
Yeah, and I literally like, just trained at a park, no gym.
And so your dad was obviously part of your career. How was that like in saying in those moments, those hard moments? Basically, it was just you and him, wasn't it? Holding pads.
Just like we're good like when we're coming through, but as soon as I got older, like especially leading up to the games, it was like very negative. Like just I don't know if it's an Islander thing or like that tough love.
Yeah.
And I had to. I'm the type of person if like you're got a real crap energy, I'm just like. It gets contagious. I just don't want to be around that. And my dad was at that point. And even the year out before the Commonwealth Games, I'm like, I'm the type of guy, I'm very analytical. I watch guys who are the best in my weight class.
Yep.
And I'm going, how come these guys are world champions and I'm not? And my dad will have some other thing that he wants to teach me that's not at world class level. So I kind of I actually got out of that shadow because it got to the point like, now when I look back, I was just evolving more as a person. I was growing. Like my dad couldn't keep up with evolving. Like
so that was
I don't know. It's because it's an old school thing where they just think they know everything.
Yeah.
But as I tell my students and everyone that I meet, you always have to evolve as a person.
Yeah.
Now when I train my students and the next fighters I'm coming up, boxing's changed so much in 20 years that I've been in. Like everyone's evolved. So when I teach people and I evolve myself as well.
Yeah.
Because I have goals of my own. I want to train world champions. I want to have Olympians. And I've got a couple of guys at my gym.
Potential.
They're going to do it. Like, I know they're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being arrogant or thing. I think you're only as good as your master.
Yeah.
You get these other trainers, they're like, probably lucky to have one fight or, and then they're trying to train others. But the fighters that come to me from these gyms, it's not their fault because they're only as good as their master, where I've got that knowledge. You'd think that 19, 20 years of boxing that I would know something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's obviously through your hard sort of experiences and all the struggles you went through. That sort of contribute to what your mentality. And also accepting that you can evolve too as a coach.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I think that's where if you're sort of a coach, you think that, it's up to me and taking that responsibility.
Yeah.
But if you're not willing to adapt, how can your students be adaptable to what's going on? Like you're saying, keeping up with the times.
100%.
You can't expect to do the things back what we do now, like in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
things evolve. Like,
yeah.
And I just find it like, the kids that are coming through now, they're a lot smarter than us.
Well,
They're a lot smarter than us, but I don't think they work as
Hey,
hard as they don't work as hard as us.
yeah. So we've sorry about this.
Yeah, right.
So we've in saying that, sorry about that. Where did it go? Tiger freaking took me off. So with that, in saying that, like, I remember watching this clip about Mayweather. So I never really liked Mayweather because of the cockiness.
Yeah.
But behind, like, he said something quite interesting, and this will probably relate to you at the same time. So he was talking about, and this is probably why where he is now. He goes, people don't like me. People say I'm arrogant, I'm cocky, I'm this, I'm that. And I know exactly what he said. I used to think of him. He just shows off girls, money, and all that. But he goes, no one knows behind the closed doors that I'm a father. That, you know, I love my kids. I give them what I need. Like, you know, I help them out and stuff. And I'm a loving dad and blah, blah, blah. But then I was like, oh, okay. No one. You go, this is for entertainment, like behind the closed doors. So basically, and then when he was talking, then it was just an interview he was having, and then he goes, I had science people coming in, connecting with the wires, talking about my blood levels, talking about, you know, training, or you should just sleeping, you should be resting. And he goes, I had all that wires hooked up, all the new technology. This sort of brings back to what we're talking about adapting. He said, nothing beats hard work.
Yeah,
that's
100.
it. He goes, they told me not to train at 2 o'clock. I'm running at 2 o'clock. When my opponent's sleeping, I'm training.
Yeah.
So he said, I did everything opposite for more than modern day science, what they tell you what to do. And he said, that's why I'm here where I am.
Yeah.
I'm doing what they're not doing.
Yeah.
And basically what I'm trying to say is, he said, nothing beats hard work.
Yeah, 100%.
That's it. He goes, it's hard work and just beats all. And then that probably speaks of what you sort of went through, you know what I mean? Sort of adapting with your surroundings and only using limited resources. But that is harder than what you usually go for. So if you play for an Australian team, you probably would have got comfortable with nutritionists. With all that. You know what I mean? You will probably, the expectations is also higher.
Yeah.
By having sort of limited resources, you're also looking at it going, oh, if I can do little, if I get so big, like if I get more, I'm sort of comfortable being small because it makes me work.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
because, and you're right, because they already got gifted stuff and they've got it easier.
It's expectation,
yeah,
if that makes sense.
And then, like, for me, I liked it that they had all that stuff because they didn't have...
It's an advantage for you.
Yeah, because they didn't have the purpose like I did because I had nothing. So, because I had nothing, even though I had nothing, I felt like nothing was given to me.
Yeah.
That purpose was the biggest drive where they're comfortable.
Yeah. Well, like the saying is, be comfortable in an uncomfortable position.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
Yeah.
Because if you're like rocking up, they've got the latest gear, they've got the trainers, they've got the strength, and you're just rocking up with you and your father walking up, you're like, I've got to go a bronze medal, and then, you know what I mean? Like, it just shows that you don't need all that at sometimes.
hard.
Like,
And
at a certain point.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's the drive. Like,
Hard work.
I tell my students, I say, you know what? Australia right now, they're going for a golden patch. We're getting us some good fighters through the amateurs. There's a few good boys coming through.
You want to give me a couple of shout outs or?
Oh, no. Because I don't want to give him a big head.
You don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, yeah.
Yeah, but like, it's good because like, the only difference is the other reason why these countries from poorer countries do well at Olympics and when they become world champions is because, and I say it all the time, the Mexicans, if they don't win a fight or they don't fight, they can't feed their family for a month.
Yeah.
If we're born in a developed country like this, I lose. Okay, that's all right. I got a 9-to-5 job. I'm comfortable. These guys, they literally have to fight to feed their family.
Well, did you know the story with Yo Romero, how he said the Cuban fighters, the wrestlers or your boxers? He was told about how a similar story. He goes, you're in a camp, you get taken as a kid, you're in a camp, and if you lose, you stay with the limited food. But he goes, when you win, you get better food.
Yeah.
There's levels, like you get to the better
you
rooms.
Got to earn your keep. Yeah. That's what keeps them hungry, you know what I'm saying?
Then look at this guy, 42 years old, and he's fucking smashing 20-year-olds, you know what I mean?
Because they got them and they know what it's like to like be broke and not have money.
Yeah, and I think, but the problem is sometimes when they do get money and they don't know how to use it, they just go all out and then
they don't.
It's just education, but
that's what it is. Like they're not been. It's like our people, like Islanders, like we're not been around money, and you see these NRL players that get big money.
Yeah,
you know they might be getting paid $6-7 grand a week.
Yeah,
and then because their agents don't educate them around the money.
Yeah.
You know, they end up, how did you blow $1 million contract and then you're working at a factory?
Yeah. I think it's all more to do with like, we're the first generation to think about. So I think about second, third generation, we'll start to see different development. And we've got people in the first generation doing our own things. So that's okay. But our kids, your kids, eventually we'll just, it's the same as all the other sort of nationalities. So eventually it will happen and we'll adapt. And like you're talking about adapting and doing things differently during time. We're all doing it eventually. So I just look at it as we're the first generation. We'll just adapt from there on.
Yeah.
Like, we'll just get better and better.
Yeah.
Well, you hope so.
Yeah.
Especially with the opportunities you have in these kind of
I know.
countries. So yeah. So going back to the Commonwealth Games. So after the Commonwealth Games, what did you got a bronze medal in Commonwealth Games, and was that a hard fight? Like when you,
Yeah, just only because of the 9 years before that. Because I led to that one moment. I remember when I first started boxing and I was in NZ and I watched Shane Cameron. Yeah, so I watched him when I started boxing. He won his bronze medal at the Manchester
Shane
Games.
Cameron.
Yeah.
That's Kiwi mountain man.
Yeah. So he won his bronze
Shout
medal.
out Shane Cameron.
And I remember I never take sickies like school days off. And I remember he was the only Kiwi to make that semi-finals at the Commonwealths.
Yeah.
And I pretty much wagged school to watch him fight. And then I said to myself, you know what, one day I'm going to be in that position. I'm going to get one of those.
Get one of those
medals.
medals.
Like gold, but like I'm going to get a medal.
Yeah.
So and then literally 8 years later, I got one.
Fuck, he's that old.
Yeah.
So he would be like in his 40s now.
Yeah, he'll be like early 40s.
Damn. Fuck, everyone's just getting older, eh?
Yeah, because I used to watch him when I first got him, when he was coming through the New Zealand Amateur. I know most of all the guys you'll see now, like in the past and the present, like I know all of them. Because I grew up in that era, and then the world champions you're seeing now, like, yeah, you're Joe Parker's now. We all know each other.
Oh, okay. So you was the same gym or?
Nah, we just... Actually, and this is a big one, like... I remember Joe Parker. Everyone was talking about this kid, Joe Parker.
Yeah.
Right? And then we went to the Commonwealth Games. I knew who he was.
So I'm just looking at it. I'm
yeah,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
And Joe's like, Joe's walking around and he knows he's the top fish around. He didn't know me at the time, but after the first fight ahead of my games, Joe literally was the first person to come up to me, and he was the biggest boy fan over me.
Yeah,
and he's
that's
like,
good.
Yeah, and he's like, mate, he goes, the way you fight, man, you're so fast. You throw this, like. That's
I wish I saw it, man. You got to send me some clips. I want to see your fight.
Oh, it's hard to get the fights now.
Can you get it on YouTube? Check it out.
Yeah, but they take them down.
Why?
So I've had it. Even though Josh Tate, they took it down. I don't know why. Broadcasting, I don't know. YouTube.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but
we got to go Spotify.
Hard, and then that's how me and Joe like become really good friends.
Oh, okay. So he saw a fight, and then
and then we were just friends because like we got along with the New Zealand boys anyway. But Joe was literally the first one that come up in my fight and was fanboying over me.
Bro, shout out Joseph Parker. He's achieved a lot too. He's doing a lot of funny videos now. I see it.
Good, yeah.
So yeah, so you got a bronze medal in that. Yeah, Joe Parker as a boy fan. I saw a picture actually with you and Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah.
Was that 2010 or
11? So that was at the World Champs that I went to. So
he's a bad motherfucker. That guy.
So like with him, like he was sparring Junior. Far.
Yeah.
So Junior had already told me about
same
Joshua.
Same height or
he's just a bit taller than Junior.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then
fucking big boys.
Yeah, man, they're big. And then like I remember the final because we were watching Joshua, and then Junior was sitting on my left and Joe was sitting on my right, and we're just watching, and then we're just like, look at this like Anthony Joshua dude, like.
Oh, seriously, even though those guys were talking.
Yeah, we were.
You guys were
but Junior already told us about Anthony Joshua because he already had to spar him in England.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So we knew, and then I knew he was going to be a superstar before he had even made it. And then what happened was, I seen him at the airport because Junior knew. I'm like, Junior, go introduce me to him. And no one knew who Joshua is.
Yeah.
But I knew.
Yeah.
And I when I see talent or I see people coming, I know who will make and who won't.
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting the photo of him at London at Heathrow Airport. And then he liked me. And then there was a stage. Me and him used to always talk. We had each other on Messenger. Me and Anthony used to talk all the time.
Until you made $44 million. But
anyways. But then, hard. And then...
Money gets the better of some people. But
hard.
Shout out.
I think he's worth more than 44 million now.
Nah, but I think he made that for his price. Yeah, fucking
But now, and then... I just have this knack where if I see an athlete and I know they're gonna make it before they even make it, I have to get. I just have this thing. I have to get photos with them.
But Joseph Parker was on that same level. He went pro before Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, so he had lost to Junior at the.
Joseph Parker.
Yeah, he lost to Junior. That's why he turned pro.
Why would you lose and turn pro?
Nah, because it was an Olympic qualifier, so you can't. Once you don't make it, they're already planning.
Oh, so
but they're already gonna plan to turn Joe. Pro anyway, because that's the way he fights. He's not an amateur. The way he's fighting is more pro suited.
So, what did you think about the Anthony Joshua fight with Parker? I know we're going off topic, but what's your thoughts on that?
If Joe does see this, and Joe, if you do watch this, and I know you watch my shit, if I had to give one thing, and I had caught it even before the commentator caught it, it was his footwork that let him down. He drags his back right leg,
Yep.
So when he was when he was trying to get committed, his feet wouldn't allow him to shift because his back leg drags. So it's flat-footed. If you're on the balls of your feet, you can shift off quicker.
Yeah.
And I remember I said that before.
But Joshua didn't get any big shots on him.
Nah, but he was still not taking risks because he knows Joe's good. Like all of us, we know if you know each other.
And that's what I feel like. Personally, like I don't know as much about boxing, but I feel like Parker and Joshua, no one really want to give anything.
Yeah, because they have too much. No, because they have too much respect because they know what they could do.
But I think when Joseph Parker came on the inside a couple of times, you saw him touch him up, but then it's like the ref break it up.
Yeah, because the ref wouldn't allow it. That's
why? Why?
Because
like, that's his style. Like,
yeah,
but it
depends. Some refs are like that. They'll like a bit of clinch. Some won't.
Oh,
it just depends on.
But do you reckon that's sort of disadvantaged Joseph in a way?
100.
Another one. Look, I know we talk about Joseph Parker. Shout out Joseph Parker. But there's one thing I felt he got robbed. I don't know boxing, but in my opinion, when he versed Dylan White. Yeah. I think they got him at a good time. And I think Joseph Parker, if he had an extra 2 weeks in camp, because he wasn't on holiday, and they called him, come fight, this guy's your opportunity. But they got him off guard type thing.
Yeah.
I think if you look at the fight, he only had a certain gap.
Yeah, it wasn't that long, yeah.
But usually you get a bit of time to prep.
Yeah, to prep.
Dylan White was already training. So he was on holiday, and Joseph Parker was like, and he dropped him. Like, I just felt like they just, I don't know, man. I don't know boxing, but I felt like it was, this is your opportunity, bro. And Joseph Parker can't say no because then that's what Dylan White's the person who will tell everyone,
you only fight the best. Yeah, you only fight the best. And
but I'm like, so sad. I was like, Joseph, like, I just feel like if he had an extra 2 weeks in camp,
like just a longer training camp.
Yeah, he would have finished him. He only had like a 4 week camp.
Joe's world class. He can beat anyone.
Do you reckon he could beat Joshua second round?
Yeah, 100%.
I know. I like what Tyson Fury said. He goes, Joseph Parker is a poor man or me. So he goes, no offense to Joseph Parker. He goes, no offense, but
Joe probably want to knock him out, bro. They're friends.
No, but they're friends, aren't they?
Yeah, they're mates.
So what do you reckon about the match against those two?
With Tyson and
Joshua.
Oh, Tyson Fury.
Bro, he just...
I used to be skeptic. I used to be like, nah.
He's a boxer. He's a boxer.
Yeah, now when I look, like, especially my mate back in Scotland, he's like, trust me, Tyson Fury. The last couple of years, for a big man to move like that, 100% Tyson Fury.
But he moves with his hands down, bro, and that's like a...
But, like, for him, he's like 7 foot something. Like, for a guy to move like that, especially if you do understand boxing, for a big man to still be mobile and to move like that, that's a gift.
Yeah, and another thing too, if he looks like Anthony Joshua and he moves like that,
Joshua's got no movement compared to Tyson Fury.
Is that reckon that's the downfall?
I reckon Tyson Fury gets Joshua out under 6 rounds, easy.
Like,
because
I
reckon Joshua gets tired, he can't move, and then what Tyson Fury did to Wilder, coming forward and committing to the shot, he gets Joshua out.
Because Joshua can't fight off a back foot. He will only fight.
But he's got heart. One thing I'll give Joshua, and even when I knew he was going to be big, the man has heart.
Yeah, what about that uppercut he gave?
But very chinny, you know?
Yeah, you reckon?
Yeah, 100.
He's got up.
Every fighter has like an Achilles heel. It's like the Cubans. The Cubans can move flash and got these moves, this and that, but their Achilles heel is...
Yeah.
They get touched once, they're gone.
What about Ruiz? Was it Ruiz?
Ruiz fight?
Yeah, with Parker.
Yeah. I didn't watch that fight, so I wouldn't know.
I don't know, man.
I didn't watch that fight.
I don't know, but he dropped Joshua like, fuck, that was... that was a bit sad. I was like, seeing a big guy drop to a fat guy, I was like,
I knew Andy Ruiz was going to pull an upset. And I was
Did you think that?
Oh, yeah, I was going to
don't say that.
I was going to put money on it, and I was so gutted when he won. Because my mate put like about 400, he made like $5,000 back. And I said to him, and I told him, because they asked me at the gym that week, they're like, who would you bet? And I'm like, Andy Ruiz.
But he was on a short notice.
Yeah, but like the thing is, if you look at the way, if you know boxing and people, if they knew who Andy Ruiz is, they knew he had a chance. People who didn't know boxing and they looked at him, they would have thought, nah.
That guy.
This guy is legit.
Was he legit?
And then when he got the knockout, I was so pissed off. I was like, no.
You could have made $4,000.
I could have made $4,000.
Far out. Oh, so we went off topic a bit, but it was good. It was good. So so after the Commonwealth Games, so we're going back to Lomu, but no. So after that, so you trained 2011. So you were getting more consistent fights after the Commonwealth Games, or how did it go?
No, it was still like I just went into a drought again.
Oh man, what's with the drought?
Yeah, but then
you gotta get the fights, bro.
I think but then I think again, like I think during after that, I think I just started getting a bit of a burnout, and I just didn't like boxing. I just didn't love it anymore.
Oh, man.
And then that's when I fought that following year, 2000. That's when I fought Lomachenko.
Was it you getting over it, or did you find a partner, or what was it? Or you
No,
getting
I
into
didn't have a
party
partner,
scenes? Did you get into the party scenes, or what?
Nah, just the burnout, because I've trained consistent for like 13 years straight.
But if you train consistent 13 years straight, did the goal change? What? Because obviously that was part of the process. Like,
yeah, it's not. No, it wasn't. The goal was still to make an Olympics, but if any athlete understands the burnout, I just didn't like it anymore.
yeah, well, you know, funny, we're going back to Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
He said that kids who start when they're age of 19 or 13, by the time they get to
21,
like 20,
yeah,
21, they burn out.
It is, and it's true. That's why, like,
He started later. He reckons he started at 18.
Yeah, and then this is like the thing. Like, people think, oh, if you start early, you're gonna be better. It depends, because a lot of things can happen in that time.
Yeah.
Guys like Mayweather and Lomachenko, they've done it consistent. They're a different level breed of mentality.
Yeah.
That's what they live for.
So David
Me,
Goggins.
I didn't want to live for that anymore. I was just like, I don't want to, and I think at the same time, my dad killed the sport for me. My dad was just full on, you know?
Yeah.
And I just hated boxing.
Was it pressure or something like that? Or?
Yeah, it was pressure, and his biggest was burnout. I just hated boxing, man.
So you versed Lomachenko at the time when you were sort of...
I was still coming through, like one of the best in the world.
But would you say there was a shift in your mentality in a sense of like, okay, look, I've got Lomachenko, which I think is one of the greatest of all time, one of them. But would you say that at that time you were on the decline in mentality of like, I don't want to do this?
Yeah.
So he caught you when you
when I'm on the way down.
Yeah. I'm talking about mentality, not
it's
skill.
not. It's more mental, and it is. It's like that's why like Olympians, you know, even guys who train to make Olympians, they have sports psychologists, because some of them have trained.
I heard that. The sports psychologist.
Yeah, sometimes those athletes, because they don't if they don't make a Olympics and they've trained their whole life, it does shit to them.
Fuck, it's just...
It's a whole mental game, man. You know, that's why they have
millennial thing, or is it?
Nah, it's just, I think it's just everyone, you know? But like...
No, I'm only joking to the millennials. Like, don't take offense to it.
I mean... Nah, take offense to that. Yeah.
Nah, so you versed Lomachenko. Anything after that, was it just versing amateur guys compared to that caliber?
It was still the best in the world, but then from 2012, when I didn't make that Olympics, like London Olympics, and people knew I was good enough to make it.
Yep.
And then I just wanted to do something that wasn't boxing.
So were you in the Olympics team? Like, were you like...
No, like in the national teams when you try to qualify,
okay.
because you got your national team.
So when I heard a story that it was a Barcelona. Was that Barcelona? Oh, was it Barcelona or some country? I think England or Irish or something like that. Let me get the story straight. I heard that when you walked out of the Tongan game...
Oh, that was the Commonwealth Games.
So that was 2010?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, 2014.
Oh, so you were still...
So I went to that
damn.
one, yeah.
So what happened there? Was that... And you're obviously talking about you're on a decline then. How was that like? Well, compared to the 2010?
It was just like... The 2014 was just like...
You just there? Or?
Yeah, it was like just there, but it wasn't like a 2010, you know?
The hunger, what was it?
Yeah, it was everything.
Yeah.
And things changed. Like, for me, I think I was more trying to set my life after boxing, because the problem is with boxers, they put all their eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nah.
To some extent, if you don't have a backup for what you're gonna do and to make money and a living, and you see a lot of boxers and there's like heaps of them, when they don't end up making it, then they work those shit jobs, and then, you know, So I was already thinking ahead, like when you're saying, like, I was already thinking ahead of what I'm gonna do.
We'll get into that anyway. We'll get into that shortly. But see, I'm more of a person who just like all eggs in one bar, tunnel fucking vision. That's it. Like,
hard.
Nothing in, nothing out. No.
Yeah.
Like I even said, like, I don't know. I was talking to my sister once before, and I was telling her like, everyone talks about the, you know, block the negatives and all that shit. I don't know if it's a millennial thing or something new, but everyone said block. But I told her, like, personally, block the positives too. Like, if you've got tunnel vision and people, because that can even sway you off to where you need to get to. Because obviously, when people give you too much positive, you sort of drift off because you think you get big headed, or you start gets you think I'm where I am, but you're nowhere near the goal. You're nowhere near the end line. So when I say tunnel vision, I told her, look, block the negative plus and the positive. Just keep to you, because the positive can even drift you off your course, if that makes sense. So I was always, when like, I don't know, I was the person who just put all eggs, if people know me in general,
hard.
I'm just all in or all out Like,
Yeah,
I
but
know
you have to.
Yeah. And so like, and that could be a problem too with me in saying
100.
that, because you cannot, like you're talking about, like what's about tomorrow, where I'm thinking about now and just get it done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
hard.
so with me in general, I think I've developed that probably later on, probably after the early 20s ish, like ish. But when I was, I don't know, I'll just go tunnel vision 100%.
Yeah.
But that could be a back four too, because if it doesn't work out, then you're sort of struggling.
Then.
But then you work it out anyway.
Yeah, hard.
You know what I mean? That's just me.
And that's what it is.
But yeah, so like, no, it was good. So you went from 2014, you were in the Commonwealth Games. You weren't really mentally there, or physically.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah,
So
everything.
how was that experience? I heard a story, but I'm hoping that you're not bringing it up. Making weight, or
I don't want to talk about.
Oh, okay, fair enough. No, that's all good. That's all good. But so how many fights did you have in 2014? How many?
I didn't end up fighting in 2014. I ended up going there, but I did create some controversy, good and bad.
Yeah, we'll just talk about the good stuff.
The good stuff, becoming like a Celtic legend over there.
Celtic
bro. So like the football club, and I've always liked Celtic anyway.
Yeah.
And anything Celtic, like Boston Celtics in the basketball.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I ended up walking out with because the rivalry over there between Rangers and Celtic
that's soccer clubs, yeah.
and that's like one of the most heated rivalries in the world, because it's like Catholics and Protestants.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I ended up walking out.
Who are the Catholics? The Celtics?
Celtic, yeah.
Okay, fair enough, yep.
So yeah, I ended up walking out, and then I just became this like icon hero overnight. And then even before the week before, like, Celtic invited me to like their games and gave us jerseys, and I was a big hero. Now they still follow me on all social media. And
way.
One guy I got along with even before he made the first Celtic team.
Yeah.
He's one of the best young fullbacks coming through. He ended up getting purchased by Arsenal last year for £25 million. And I met him before he got signed by Arsenal.
And how old is he now?
He'll be like 21, 22.
Oh, so he was just been a kid.
Yeah, but he was like...
The development squad.
But he was one of the best fullbacks in Europe for under 20. When he cracked that first Celtic team squad, and the 2 seasons that he had, he's like next level. Then that's when these English Premier League teams... But he's grown up Celtic his whole life. So it was a big like... When he did leave, like it was a big like stab for Celtic fans, because they thought he'll stay at Celtic forever.
But if you're paying someone, X amount of money.
Yeah, Arsenal are a big club.
And then Celtic,
and he's hanging out with guys like Aubameyang, Lacazette, and they're on these guys. Yeah, they're like, they're all
freak.
Yeah,
freak,
Lacazette.
man.
So they all hang out with each other, like. And I'm glad I've got a mate that's in a big team like Arsenal, and then I've got my other best mate as well, Aaron Moy at Brighton. So he's Australia's best player.
Oh, is that soccer?
Yeah.
Brighton.
Albion.
Is that, which division's that?
They're in the EPL. No, they're still in the EPL.
So they're one
English.
level down.
No, they're in the
top Premier League. League.
So he's on Premier League wages. So he was here at the Wanderers, and then we used to hang out every weekend. Now he's
train?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So now he's like, he is Australia's best player right now. He's the most expensive player. He got bought out. Manchester City sold him for 25 million.
Damn.
So he's my mate. So like
So if you're a soccer fan, obviously you know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
I know which soccer is good.
So Aaron Moy, if you're
shout out Aaron Moy.
he's my mate. Yeah.
So what? She sounds like an Islander last name.
Nah, he's.
Moy.
I think he's half German, half Dutch or something like that.
Oh, well,
Australian Dutch.
That's his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, freak man. So what? You grew up with him or?
Nah. So it's funny because like I have this knack where when I meet famous people, they just become friends with me. So I don't know if it's a gift that God gave me. But every famous person I meet, they always want to be friends with me.
Who's the most famous person following you on Instagram? Joseph Parker. I know he's following you.
You got Aaron Moy, Anthony Wiggle from the Wiggles.
Wiggles?
Yeah.
I've never heard of him.
Anthony Wiggle.
Anthony Wiggle. Is it
like the blue Wiggle. He's the blue Wiggle.
The blue is Australian?
Yeah.
I think I remember.
There's too many. I don't know.
Damn. Shout out to all the famous people. If you want to come on the podcast.
Got too many.
Shout out to the Go Podcast.
I got too many famous friends. But like, one of the biggest like clubs like in football, like Celtic.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
So that was obviously through that experience you had. So after 2014, after that good and bad sort of situation, what was after that? What came along? Did you just quit?
Yeah, I just quit. Man, I hated boxing so much.
But you know what? It's always the case. Someone who was a freak in rugby league when he was young. And then they grow up. I wasn't even enjoying it. Like people.
I don't know. I think everyone's just different. I don't know. I think I just got sick of it because I'm around it all the time.
Yeah.
And then it just did my head in, and it wasn't like good, like especially with me and my wife. Like it just got to a point because then I was going job to job. I was working fucking every job there was. I was working as a cleaner. What else I was doing? As saying, brick labouring. Then bricklaying. Man, I did it for 2 years, and you know what? Even though it's the shittest job and they get paid well, I stick to that job because it showed the character I was. I was a hard man. Like,
Yeah.
if I knew that you couldn't do that shit job, it made me felt like a man because no one, if anyone's done bricklaying and the labouring,
Yeah.
woohoo!
Let me know if you want to come to scaffolding.
Yeah,
Hook you up.
man. So like, yeah, bro. So that built my mentality, and I think those years that I had away from boxing,
Yeah.
it made me realize that when I did go back, and then I had talked my problems with this psychologist, from not making 2012 because the Olympics, then I had a new perspective, and I felt like a lot of weight come off my shoulder because I felt like because I didn't make an Olympics, that's my whole goal was to make an Olympics, even though I was good enough to make Olympics, but because it didn't happen, I felt like those years when I did go through that bad drought, it was like a silent depression.
Oh, okay.
So that's what made me spiral. And like I worked every shit job, but I never quit. And I knew like every time I made a decision or I worked hard, something was gonna pay off in the end. Because every decision I make is gonna count towards something at least.
Yeah. So you had a good mentality throughout the
Yeah,
process.
I've always had. Yeah,
That's it's really rare to find that. You
Yeah.
know, like when things don't work out, someone's already ahead of the time. If that
Yeah.
makes sense. That's good. Like, what's that? I don't know how would I say. Was that developed too, or do you reckon you were just born with that sort of like you always wanted more? If that makes sense. When
Yeah,
you were
it
young,
was
when you were like,
like-
nah, if this doesn't work out, I've got that plan. I'm always
yeah,
chasing.
like it's like nothing's ever good enough. Like
Yeah.
and
It's
I
good
think
mentality.
and I think because like even growing up when I was young and I liked making money or I liked winning stuff, so all those little wins built me towards how my mental game is.
Yeah.
So when it came to like those tough jobs, I never complained and stuff. And you know what's funny? And I never laugh at anyone for whatever job, even if they're a cleaner or
Yeah.
you know they're even I collect 10-cent bottles because I make
Yeah.
money out of it. I'm always trying to figure how to make money. You know what I'm
Nice.
saying? I'm smart like that. Like, you know,
That's a
my
bit of-
wife hates it, but I do it because I'm like, well, that pays your Christmas present anyway. That's piggy bank money. You know?
Yeah, see, like, you've got that mentality.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I'm not. It's like, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
but
waste my fucking time.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I know what you're saying,
so
but
like, see all those little wins, it's built me towards what I am.
that's mad, bro. See,
Yeah.
but,
See, now that I explain, because you know what? This one guy come to the gym and he goes, I go, give me your 10 cent. I go, give me your bottle. He goes, what do you mean? I go, I collect the bottles for 10 cents. He goes, it's only 10 cents. I'm like, okay. If I save
Times
10
that by
cents,
1,000.
if I save this 10 cents over the year, I save $600. I don't need to spend my wage money.
but how much effort do you have? To me,
That's the effort.
Yeah.
But see, that's what makes me different because I make the effort. But my wife hates it. But I'm
Yeah,
like,
but
but you don't complain when I buy you nice shit.
But like 600, think about it. $600 for collection. That's like,
Yeah, but it takes time and you got to collect. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
But
it's like
that's
the
just
risk,
how-
not the risk, but like the reward. The reward is like $600. Come on,
Yeah,
bro. You can
but like for
take
me,
that
but
$600.
Yeah, but for me, that's what I was like even
No,
when-
but it's all about the principle, I guess.
yeah, hard.
It's
And
the
it's like
principle.
when I was growing up, like I used to sell Pokemon cards like at 10
So
cents.
you were always hustling. Yeah.
And then this is one that I tell the boys like, because my dad used to work at Rexona, so he used to always bring pallets of like Lynx cans.
Yeah.
and my school at St. Bernard's College in New Zealand, St. Bernard's.
Shout out.
So the boys knew that I always bring like 5 Lynx cans to school. And you know how you buy like $5-7? You know how
Yes.
much I'll sell for? $2.
Oh,
All the boys, and I would make $10, $20 a day.
I think. Fuck, that brings a memory. I think. Wait. I think I was doing that with battery packs. So
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about how I got the battery packs.
Yeah.
I got battery
But-
packs. Well, no,
and
you know why? Because the Discmans.
Yeah,
Remember the Discmans
everyone, the
batteries?
Walkmans and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to have I think there was a period. I don't know how long I did it for, but there was a period where I got battery packs. I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you how I got the battery packs. You work it out yourself. I used to go to school. They used to be expensive because batteries were expensive.
They still are.
They still are. But I used to be like, here, bro, $2, $3.
And
so,
you make it.
And you make it. And they're like, for your Discman, for your Walkman. Everyone used to have reserves. I think I remember there was points and I used to like, you know, in that sense, I used to have that sort of thing. But yeah, like I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
like there was
hard.
you used to cut the prices, but you're taking the risk for the little reward, if that makes sense. And yeah, bro. I remember back in them days, and you know, you lived growing up in Mount Jewel. I used to go before I went finish up at Patrician Brothers. I was at Mount Jewel. So shout out to Mount Jewel High. pretty rough there, but we won't talk about that. But yeah, man, you get away with that. But when I went to Patricia Brothers, you can't be doing shit like that. Oh, you can. But
yeah, you gotta
you gotta just be a bit observant, if that makes sense. You gotta be watching out what you do. Cross your T's and dot your I's, if that makes sense.
Yeah, hard.
But yeah, man, like
that's it. Yeah, that's
a mentality, bro.
That's how my mental game is, and like, yeah, and I never. That's why, like during COVID, I never laughed at anyone that like, all the ones. You know what's funny? Because everyone has a stereotype that they have to be in an office. And what was funny was all the office jobs lost their jobs, and all the shit jobs were in place. So, and that's why I never laughed at anyone.
I'm not laughing at
Yeah. It's just, it's funny how karma comes around.
No, but it's not even about that. Some office people, like, they know their shit. And I think they have an appreciation for, your blue-collar type people.
Yeah.
In saying that, I honestly think that the game's changed now forever for the office workers. So, my opinion.
Yeah,
there's no science. There's bro science. So, calm down, guys, if you guys get it. But look, this is my opinion. But I think now, as the world works now, they realise people work better out at home. So all those office blocks, where they used to lease, companies lease and rent or whatever they want to do with it, they don't have to pay that rent. They can just get people working at home. So I reckon a lot of people will be losing jobs.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's but I wonder if the job loss with the people in the office, I want to know if they still have their jobs. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing the statistics to see how much they dropped off and see if they got to go back to their job or they're just working out at home. But if you think about it, you commute for an hour to work, hour back. Takes time. It's 2 hours out of your day. If you get them to save that 2 hours, be productive, say, start at home at 7, finish at, say, 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock, they don't have to travel. So they're literally working. If you give them a schedule to work through, you're actually saving more time and money. You're not paying you're not leasing a building for everyone to come in. You don't have to worry about them being late. You just send them you send them a list. This is the job list for this week. Get it done today. And if you do that, you can relax and do whatever. I think that's my personal opinion. I think that'll be the way they go about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It probably isn't.
Yeah.
They'll probably go back to work or whatever. But how much, just common sense, like how much time are they saving traveling? There'll be less cars on the road. There's no excuse for people being late. You just get a job task, do that. And if you do that in a day, smash it out. If you do it before 12 o'clock, Merry Christmas. And if you don't, what I mean? I just think that the companies, the bigger picture, the actual companies will save money.
Yeah,
at least, like, how much are those buildings worth? Like a week, surely it'll be over in the thousands. You know what I mean? Who has the thousands of bucks like these days? But yeah, man. So now I know that you're doing I've been seeing your stories and stuff. So you're running your own PT now. So what led you? So you obviously we tapped on about you like doing these odd jobs and stuff like that. Cleaning, bricklaying. What got you into actually? Obviously your background, obviously in PT. But when did you realize going, fuck, this is the lane I want to take?
I think after when I had talked to that psychologist and I kind of I felt like all this weight over the years had been dropped off, and then I wanted to fresh start. So I ended up picked up my PT up again. So I had guys I was training at the gym, and then it just reignited a different kind of fire. Like instead of fighting, I'm not bad at coaching people.
Yep.
And being competitive.
But that's experience.
Yeah, and that's the experience. And I think that's when people ask, why don't you just get back into it? I should still fight if I wanted to, but the thing is...
How old are you now?
30.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because the fighters are not retiring until 40 now. They're their peak is 28 to about 34.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with me, when they ask me, I go, I don't have that hunger to kill anyone like I did before, but my hunger to train the next breed and pass on my knowledge, I go, if I can do that, they will be successful in half the time that I did it in.
And you get something out of that.
Yeah.
Personally.
Because I have my own goals and I'm driven. Even though Josh Taylor's a world champion and I could have been that world champion, but my job, and I think that's just how life works. I think I was just meant to mentor and coach people. And then that's why I get paid well to do what I do, because I have that experience.
Yeah. And I think that, and when you thought that, didn't make the Olympics, but what you're doing now contribute to what you're doing.
Yeah.
So when one door closes, obviously another door opens.
Yeah,
but
100%.
It's sort of deceiving, isn't it? You think that you're lost in this point, but
really
it's like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, and it is.
And if you didn't go through that hard work, if you didn't train, if you didn't sacrifice, if you didn't do all that, and even if you didn't get disappointed, because sometimes disappointment is also an achievement in a sense of where you are now.
Yeah, and it is. And
because you could have quit then. You could have said, hard. You could have said, no, fuck this, fuck fighting, forget all that, and I'm going to be a bricklayer, fuck it. You know what I mean? But then now, obviously I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with a bricklayer, but now all that contributes to basically you doing what you want. And it sounds like, we'll tap on that on PT, but it sounds like you're loving it. You were talking about earlier about what you want to do and where you want to take it. So with the PT and stuff like that, your experience helps you.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So your experience, so all that was a blessing in disguise in the sense of all those disappointments, all that depression, all that stuff led you to where you are now. And so how is that going for you anyway with the pizza? You're booked, you're packed.
Yeah, so I'm like...
He's not taking no more bookings, God.
Yeah.
No, DM me. Yeah.
So like, it's hard because like now it's really good. Like, I've always been like the last year and a half, I've been very busy, but like ever since COVID happened, I have grinded my ass 24/7. And like I said before, like I was at like 4,000 followers. Now I'm nearly at 8,000 in 2 months. Because I started
shout out to the followers,
shout out to the new followers who like my
Mad.
content and all the top coaches out there. But yeah, so I started grinding hard because I'm the type of person like, even though I got stood, because I'm full time at the PCYC.
Yeah.
Even though I'm full time.
Do you get a wage from that or?
Yeah, so I'm on salary. Yeah, so I felt like even though I got stood down, I still get paid. I felt like I lost my job.
Yeah.
And like I said at the start of the podcast, if something hard happens, I come twice as hard.
Yeah. So
where most people, you know what? Most people now, like, I get 2 months holiday. Let's see what I do. I'll live off the government and the Centrelink, this and that. I'm not that type of person, man. I'm the type of person, I make my own money.
It's an opportunity, isn't it?
And I'm doing so good that I'm gonna have to move. Like, lucky my wife and God bless her parents, that we're gonna be moving to the eastern suburbs in a couple months. But
so you be drinking your coffees like this, so?
nah.
No, I'm only joking. Everyone in the eastern suburbs, I'm joking.
Yeah. But like, nah, it's like, so with my PT business on the side, so obviously that's my second revenue, how I make my income.
Yeah.
It's just booming. Like, and you know, I do Zoom sessions now, so I worked really hard the 2 months in COVID. I decided I didn't want no holiday, man.
Yeah.
Like I hate people when they like use the excuse, oh yeah, free money from the government. I'm like, no.
It's
like,
only free money, but you still got to pay back anyway.
Yeah, and you know what? Every time there was a depression, every top millionaire was made in a depression.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's true. Like Walt Disney, after like the Second World War, Disney didn't have anything, and then they worked hard to get to freaking where they are.
Yeah.
I'm that type of person, man. I'm not. And people who know me, they know I grind every day.
Yeah.
And it's Monday to Sunday.
It's quite interesting because I think like COVID was for me personally was a blessing in disguise.
Hard.
But I don't think people get it. Like,
yeah, for me, I'm with you. It's a blessing in disguise for me because I've built my own brand now, and now I'm my own brand.
Well, I think about it too. When people were complaining about it, another example is people who follow me see it, and I'm not doing it to boast about it.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it to sort of, I don't know, maybe to encourage someone or give them information of, you know, you can. That's what it was really about. So I don't like I was saying to you, like a sort of my stories about my cats, and about me fitness. But throughout COVID, I'm training harder. I'm actually training harder. Man, my diet's a bit like 50% better.
But you train hard.
But so people were saying, "Oh, we need the gyms open. We need gyms open." Okay, fuck, you've got a park. You can run. If you've got a treadmill, you could do shit. I feel like people just get used to routine.
Yeah.
Routine. And I think when you break people's routine, you see who they really are.
Yeah, you see what they're made of.
You know what I mean? Because once you take the routine, once you take that safe zone out, it's the survival of the fittest. And that's just life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
100.
So I feel like I'm actually, when people say, "Oh, I can't wait till the gym's open back," you go, "Yeah, that's fine." But like,
what have you been doing?
No, what have you could have ran. You could have walked. There was opportunities for walking. Like, there was opportunity. Like, I've got the scaffold in my back to do chin ups, so I set everything up.
Yeah, hard.
There was no excuses. But then met Johnny throughout the way, and then it was a blessing in disguise too. Like, man, that guy takes me to a level I don't like. And shout out to Johnny because he'll be on the podcast eventually one day. But I've never trained as hard as I have, and I post those posts not to boast about myself, but to more to say that you can still train in these moments. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Hard.
And just find a PT or something, or just do it yourself. You don't even need a PT. You know what I mean?
I think at the same, like, you're right, because I reckon people are just looking for excuse, and that's what people.
I think it's excuses. I think it's routine.
Yeah.
I think it's routine. When you take someone's routine out, and it's we
But even if it's in the routine, they should make no excuse.
Adapt. Yeah, adapt.
Like that's it. They have to adapt.
Yeah.
It's like my boxers. Like, there was half the group that still trained and half that didn't. And I said to them, I go,
but what changes? What changes?
Yeah, I know. And I said, you know what? You guys depend, like what you're saying, depending on gym. But I said, you know what? The guys that had trained in 2 months, they've just gained 2 months of experience and fitness and knowledge. And you're behind the 8 ball. Yeah. And that's why you won't fight for me.
But like, the problem is, another thing too, is that like, if things like this happen, me personally, I like when things go wrong. I don't know what it is. It's like when because I'm like,
because it makes you better.
no, that. Like, what's normal? Like, everyone goes, this is normal. Get a 9-to-5 job, do this, do that. But I was always a person, I'm out of whack. Like, I'm up and down. Like, I'm everywhere type thing. So that you can't really predict me, if that makes sense.
Hard.
There's no prediction. Like, you can't say, oh, I've got to do this tomorrow, because I won't.
Yeah,
like,
true.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll go the opposite way.
Yeah.
And I think COVID-19 actually, you know what I mean, mate? It suited me.
Yeah.
So when we go back to normal, I'm actually fearing when everything goes back to normal.
Yeah,
because I'm
hard.
like,
And that's
fuck.
like, because it's
So
like,
because I was actually in my element.
Yeah,
I was
because
in my zone.
you had
I
the
was-
2 months to figure out what you want to do.
Yeah,
And
but
then
like,
now
I
you
was
have
just,
to go back.
and I was like, fuck, like, damn, and now I have to go back
It's
to
like-
everyone's normal.
It's
you know
like-
what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's
I get
shit. Like, you know, that's me personally.
no, I
but,
get it, I
You know,
get it.
it's like, fuck,
Yeah.
back to normal. Shit.
That's like me.
I
like now,
never suited normal, if that makes sense.
yeah, it's like me going back to work, but that's all right anyway, because I've already had the 2 months to rebrand myself. And,
Oh, bro, but you've branded yourself in a sense of like in a like Johnny was telling me. He goes, it's a survival of the fittest with business, with anything, with life, fitness, whatever it is, because only the strong survive, and that's
100.
the history.
And that's true. Yeah,
That's history.
Yeah.
So if you can't adapt, if you don't have the ability to adapt, or if you're too safe and you're too worried about what other people think, you've got to just fall behind in general, man.
Yeah,
and it's not a
100.
bad look.
And
I'm
that's
not.
just, that's it.
But you know what? In saying that, I appreciate those people too, because they make me feel like I'm doing something different too.
100.
So like I don't hate on them. Like I actually don't hate at all. It's actually good.
Yeah.
Because it makes me feel like keep doing what you're doing then. Because if we never had those people, then I'll think that, oh shit, maybe it's something about me. You know what I mean? Like it's good to have certain, like, you know, everyone's different and stuff like that. But I don't. It's no bag out. Like it's good having certain people safe in that sense, because it sort of checks me at the same time too. Because sometimes I feel I'll go overboard, but having people, you know, sort of in their routine sort of makes me check myself too sometimes, because I feel like maybe, you know, you're going off course. But anyways, so with you with the PT, do you reckon this 2 months what we had off, that's actually help you with your PT?
Yeah,
business?
100%. Like I'm so busy. I get like people all over Sydney that come to Cabra.
But how's that going to work now? Once you go out, if you live in the eastern suburbs, would you still have to make the trip down to
Yeah,
Cabra?
so like I've already figured out logistically like what I have to do. Like I've already know what I got to do. So like one of my guys that actually trains with me, he just got his cert, so he'll end up looking after the clients for me in the mornings, because I get busy in the mornings. But so he'll do that, but I'll still run it as normal at night.
Yeah. Okay. So you got one of the employees taking care of that. Man, it must be a big PT. How long have you been doing it for?
Oh, I've been doing like since 2011, but not
No, officially as a business.
like a year and a half.
Fuck, man, you got employees already, you got customers, you're overloaded with staff.
Yeah, man, I get packed. Like my DMs are just full of direct messages of like PTs.
Man, and you know what? I like that too, hearing that, because like it's showing that people want to take care of their fitness or their lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it's good, especially being out west.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brady. Go.
Nah, my wife. It's
Oh,
alright.
sorry, man.
Nah, it's alright.
Shout out to the wife. He's on the podcast, so
Yeah.
he's in the podcast. He's nowhere else. Nah, but yeah. So no, man. So it's good. So what, you got your PT going? That's obviously doing its own thing.
Yeah, I don't want
to say it, but I should say it.
Yeah, not yet.
No,
But
I
got a few things I want to do, but I can say one thing is like one of my other business plans I'm planning doing is I'm gonna run my own a Fitness Australia approved like set courses. So it means like I can train trainers to train I can train PTs to train their clients in boxing. So like with their basics, drills. So
Yeah,
I'm
because
looking starting my own accreditation.
because I see PTs doing pad work, and look, I'm telling you, look,
I cringe, bro.
I'm not a professional, but please, guys, guys,
Leave it to guys like me, guys.
No, but Johnny's good at holding pad. Have you seen Johnny?
Johnny's good. Yeah,
No,
Johnny can get away with it.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, guys, take a couple classes. Take a couple classes. Look, I get it. Do the running, do the burpees, do the star jumps. But come on, guys. Literally, you're not.
Yeah.
I'm not judging.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not judging.
I judge all the time. So
I'm judging, but I'm not. Yes, I am judging. But look, guys, just leave it to the professionals. Stick with the push-ups, the sit-ups. No, I'm joking. No, I'm just saying. Like, yeah, say, because if you want to know boxing, you got to go to boxing.
Yeah, you have to learn.
It's like this. It's if you want to drive a Porsche, drive a Porsche.
Yeah,
you know what I
hard,
mean?
yeah.
Don't drive like a Chrysler and think that you're in a Bentley.
Yeah, hard.
You know what I mean?
I hate Chryslers anyway. Yeah.
Shout out Bentley.
That's a good point.
Shout out Bentley if you want to sponsor me one day. No, but you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things, like, not bad. Like, it's good what they're doing, but yeah, I see a lot of people holding mitts, and it's a bit different. than the normal, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
100.
But yeah, so where do you see yourself anyway? So what, a year and a half now. So where do you see yourself in the next year? Like, where do you want to expand? Do you want to get?
Yeah,
where do you want to get to? What's the goals?
I got some goals that I want. So like the next couple of years, like hopefully, it doesn't matter what national team it is. Like I want to be on a coaching role for the next Commonwealth Games.
For Australia
For
or
Birmingham, nah, it doesn't matter what country it is. I don't care.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah,
Doesn't
you don't
matter.
Oh, okay.
Don't really care.
Russia?
Nah.
No way.
But nah. So like, and then having, I can see there's a couple guys I think they are good enough to make Olympics if they keep focused.
Yeah.
I want to buy a couple more houses before I'm 40.
Yeah.
So I reckon I could do that easy. Maybe 4 or 5 houses before I retire, and my goal is to retire by 40.
Retire by 40.
No joke. That's everyone laughs at me. I'm like,
No, that's good. That's
yeah,
good.
it's good. Like
no,
I work.
nothing
That's
wrong with
why.
that.
That's why I grind the way I do because
Yeah.
I'm setting myself up for the future and for my future kids.
Generation wealth, eh?
And and that's what it is. Like I've broken out of my cycle that my parents tried to get me out of, and now it's like up to me to build on what I have.
Oh, no, that's good shit. That's good mentality to have.
Yeah.
Definitely, bro. Like, not many. I know.
And if anyone out there that is listening to the podcast, if it's anything,
Well, they'll be all your fans, bro, because you're the big following. So.
Yeah. If it's
Shout out,
anything,
Joseph Parker.
So if it's anything like to strive and achieve, like especially like my background, I couldn't change it for anything really. Like it's made me who I am, and again, like I said, didn't finish school, did my best in the boxing. Now I've got 2 properties, the car outside. Then I'm aiming for another 3 properties.
That's mad. Within 10
Like
years.
I'm gonna build an empire.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
That's
and
nothing
that's
wrong with
awesome,
it.
bro.
Yeah.
It's definitely good to hear, bro. Frank, what are we doing for top, bro? I think we don't know. Like, I don't even know the song.
That's alright. Just take the good bits and.
No. I'm editing, bro. It just stays.
Cool.
All of it stays,
yeah,
bro.
mad.
So yeah, bro. So fuck, man, we got to run, bro. You got heaps, man. Like, so what's the? So do you have to do? So as a PT, what's the hardest part about being a PT, if that makes sense? Because everyone has their own difficulties. One thing I know
I
is
think I can't say it by experience because I've always had clients.
guys pulling out.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's like guys pull out, but like because I'm so busy, like I reckon the hardest thing for PTs is they're scavenging for everyone because they got to show why they're different to everyone.
You know what, bro?
I'm already a step ahead because I'm already
Experience.
Yeah, so
it's from the struggle from 2007.
yeah, of all the credentials I have, that's what makes me stand out. So I've never had a problem with PT.
You know what I like about? See, what I like about, like, definitely get that vibe off you too. But I like about Johnny because people who know, they know Johnny.
Yeah.
But I like how he's not headhunting for, like, I've got guys who recommend, like, who asks who's this guy, who's that guy. You know what I say to Johnny? I go, Johnny, these people are asking, like, do you want me to give you a digits? He goes, no, bro, don't fucking tell him. Okay, until you get under 100. I don't want to fucking know him because it's embarrassing. Like I don't want them to come and then they go good and then. So he's like, I notice with a lot of PTs, they'll be like, yeah, come, yeah, bring them all in. It's like they're chasing it, like they're chasing that clientele. Where if you're developing, if you're confident in your product, like it speaks for itself, but you can also limit what comes in.
Yeah,
like you're saying,
that's
yeah. So you're like, no, like until you get better, and it's a personal thing. It's like until I see the difference in you, then start telling people to come because you're a product of what he's producing.
Because he takes pride in his work.
And that's how I can tell the difference between PTs. Is like if I could tell if they're chasing him for numbers or they're chasing him because they personally care about their well-being. Like Johnny calls me up randomly and saying, "Oh, can you do this? Where's your diet, bro?" And he gets cut. Like, right?
Yeah, because he cares.
Yeah, because he cares. He actually cares. He follows
and that's what
up.
I'm like with my training.
For sure.
Because I had made that level, I expect them to make that level.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like you hate them or anything. It's just passion.
Yeah,
like
that's what it is. Passion.
And when you're passionate, you definitely go above and beyond on what you normally do.
100%.
Like whatever normal is. But yeah, bro, but freak. So you see, so you just want to basically develop yourself within a year from now, year and a half, double scale, or just sort of keep it at that?
I want to keep multiplying.
So what does that mean? Does that mean getting a studio or getting a place or just doing what you're doing now?
Maybe in the near future. I'm still contracted to the PCYC.
How long is that?
It's not contracted, but I'm still with it. I love the PCYC though.
You love it?
Yeah.
You know,
I'm the golden boy of PCYC. and they know it.
So what about Blacktown? Blacktown's got a couple of boxes.
Yeah, they're good. Rodney trains the boys well.
Yeah, so I've seen him. So like you're the head. You're basically the Rodney of that.
Of my area, yeah.
Yeah. Not many people come out of Mount Jordan, have you noticed?
No.
And they got all, you know what it is? They're all chasing the NRL, all chasing the footy. You know what I mean? But a lot of them potentially can get there.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
They
Polynesians,
just need
they just need a guidance, I think.
Yeah,
Someone
that's
like
what
you.
it is. Yeah, like a
someone
mentor,
like you.
yeah.
Because one, you can also relate. You like culture-wise, like culturally, you can understand
Yeah,
like,
I
what they're going
understand,
through at
yeah.
home, and then you'd be like, yeah, so that's where you have the benefit for the Polynesians. At the same time, it's just easier to work with the Palangis.
Yeah, hard.
You don't have to worry about that shit. Just like
yeah.
come to training, they're there 30 minutes before the island. There's all the skill in the world.
Hard.
2 hours later.
Yeah. Oh man.
But you know what the worst part is? They come up, they spar, and then they're like, what the fuck, man? Just put a bit of effort in, bro. You've got it.
I know.
Naturally. But, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, man. So, after this, what are we doing for time? Fuck, I think we have to call it, bro, because I don't know. It's
easy.
But we've got to run it back, bro. Definitely. If you need to promote something, definitely come back,
Yeah,
bro.
I'll definitely come back.
Come back.
Well, thanks for having me.
No,
anyway.
no, thank you, bro.
Yeah, because I've got another 6 podcasts to do.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. But, like, lucky because,
Troy, man.
yeah, Troy, when he
Shout out
messaged
to
me, and
Troy.
I was like,
That's
and I
your
messaged him,
boy.
I go, man, and I said, and he knows in the message, I said, man, you're lucky I love you, man, because I got like another 10, bro.
Well, Troy, I appreciate you.
And you know what? And I put you ahead of everyone else, and I said, yo, come on.
No.
Troy's one of my boys, so.
No, but yeah, I definitely appreciate this, bro. We'll definitely run it back.
Yeah,
if you got
100%.
something going on or you want to promote something and something
Yeah,
like
I'll
that,
let you know.
just let me know. Or just come on if you want to have a chat, bro. We'll
Yeah,
go from
hard.
there, bro. If you got something to tell us, like definitely, bro, moons of stories, bro. We can
Yeah,
go on,
hard.
bro. It's just the time. And I'm editing this one, so shit, man. So, Jared, make sure you roll back. We've got another podcast this Sunday, so that'll be interesting. But he'll be here anyway, mate. Guys, so that's why we didn't have the headsets and shit
Oh,
like
okay,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, bro. But Lomi, appreciate you coming in, bro. Thanks for that.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, we'll definitely run it back. 100 an hour and 17 minutes.
Oh, yeah?
That's what it was.
Shit, I thought it was like an hour.